Have you ever wondered what actually lies beneath the ancient stones of our world's most famous fortresses? Are they just dusty basements, or is there something way more strategic hiding in the dark? Welcome to this explainer, where we're going deep underground to decode a massive historical mystery, the secret tunnels of the legendary Lahore fort. So let's just lay it all out there. Secret escape routes, mountains of hidden treasure, or maybe the ultimate tool of royal power. You know, when we hear the words Lahore Fort tunnels, our imaginations completely run wild. Did emperors sneak out in the dead of night? Is there an absolute fortune buried down there? It's super tempting to just lean into those dramatic rumors. But today, we're going to look at the hard evidence. And honestly, what we find is far more fascinating than any cursed gold. We're looking at a brilliant, highly calculated system of survival. Section 1, the allure of the unknown. And look, it is completely understandable why our minds immediately jump to ghost stories and secret rail whispers when we talk about underground spaces. Humans are naturally drawn to what we can't see, right? And an ancient fortress just amplifies that curiosity. But here's what's really interesting. Historians don't view these paths as just random spooky tracks. They see them as vital clues to a much larger, functioning system. Think about an old dirt road out in a village. If you only look at one tiny, narrow stretch of it, it looks totally ordinary, maybe even pointless. But if you understand where it leads, who used it, and why they actually built it in the first place, well, it stops being just a track and suddenly becomes evidence of a whole network. The tunnels of Lahore Fort work exactly the same way. So the absolutely crucial point here is that we have to shift our perspective. We need to stop asking what was hidden down there and start asking what these spaces reveal about the people who built them. Because this fort, it wasn't just some static monument carved in stone. Not at all. It was a living, breathing machine. Every single corridor, whether you could see it or not, was shaped by the constant, heavy demands of safety, secrecy, and military strategy. Moving on to Section 2, what is a tunnel? To really read these clues properly, we have to strip away all the legend and start from absolute first principles. We really need to define our terms here. A tunnel is a purposeful, hidden passage made to move people, goods, or information below the surface. And that word purposeful is critical, because the second that movement goes underground, it instantly becomes protected and controlled. A tunnel isn't just a hole in the dirt. It's a highly intentional space designed to get something, a ruler, a soldier, fresh water, vital information from point A to point B without a single soul above ground knowing it's happening. This shift in thinking is a real game changer. We're moving away from the myth of some magical secret passage and leaning into the reality of a practical response to physical constraints. Think of it kind of like a covered lane in a massive historical home. It's there to protect you from the harsh summer heat or the chaos of a busy street. Literally, no one digs a tunnel for no reason. It takes immense labor. They do it because the surface route is just too dangerous, too exposed, or simply impossible to use. When we really analyze the details of visibility and control, it's pretty clear that tunnels act a lot like a school corridor. They guide movement. They tell bodies exactly where they can and cannot go. But crucially, they do the whole shebang completely out of sight. They aren't just about hiding, they are about extreme control. Inside a fort, not everyone gets the same access, right? A tunnel basically creates a VIP lane, or a highly secure service route, that outsiders can never disrupt. And this brings us to a really profound realization. Power has private pathways. These structures brilliantly mix the practical with the symbolic to show exactly who matters and who has to stay outside. Having a hidden route keeps a ruler safe, for sure, but it also sends a powerful message. It tells everyone that the palace has inner depths and strict rules of access that ordinary eyes simply aren't allowed to see. Section 3, the fort as a machine. Let's see how all of this builds into an understanding of the fortress itself. Like we said, a fort is not just a static wall. It's a deeply layered machine. You have the outer layers for brute defense, the middle layers to manage access, the inner layers protecting the high-status elites, and finally, the underground layers. These underground spaces manage movement in ways that those beautiful, wide-open courtyards up top simply can't do. They are literally the hidden gears turning inside the machine. Now, it's absolutely vital to understand that tunnels are contingency spaces. They might just act as simple, quiet service routes for staff and supplies on a normal sunny day, but under the extreme pressure of a military attack, a siege, or political unrest, they instantly become the essential lifeline of the fortress. They are specifically built for the worst-case scenario. Section 4. Reading hidden infrastructure.
So how do historians and archaeologists actually figure out what these specific species were used for without, a time machine? Well, they use pattern recognition. They map physical evidence to logical functions, basically translating architectural shapes into historical meaning. If you see a really narrow underground passage, that likely means controlled single-file movement. If you see a passage with multiple sharp turns, that's designed for protection and concealment. It stops arrows dead in their tracks or blocks lines of sight. It is such a fascinating way to decode the past. By rigorously asking these specific, evidence-based questions, historians can separate what is likely true from what is merely exciting storytelling. I mean, an empty tunnel means nothing until you know its endpoints. Does it connect a royal chamber to a safe exit? Does it link a defensive bastion directly to an armory? Context is literally everything here. Infrastructure is truly the hidden skeleton of any building. It's just like a busy modern bazaar. The public shops in the beautiful, highly visible front lanes, but the shopkeepers use the back alleys for practical, controlled deliveries. The fort operated the exact same way, separating the pristine public appearance from the messy, essential internal functions. Finally, Section 5, From Legend to History. Let's bring all these incredible clues together to resolve our mystery. When you apply this core framework, understanding that a tunnel solves a physical problem, manipulates visibility, connects vital areas, and serves both practical and symbolic power, the tunnels of Lahore Fort completely transform before your eyes. They stop being isolated, spooky fragments of some ghost story. They become brilliant, undeniable evidence of human planning and architectural genius under immense pressure. You started with mystery, you end with clarity. And that is the true gift of analyzing history this way. It empowers you. It allows you to look at an old, crumbling wall or a sealed, dark doorway and see a readable, highly intelligent system, rather than just historical confusion. It completely trains your brain to think in systems, not in fragments. So, next time you look at an ancient ruin, will you just see a ghost story, or will you read the hidden system of power? I really hope this explainer has sparked a brand new way of seeing the world around you, leaving you eager to decode the next great historical puzzle. Because once you know exactly how to look for those hidden connections, the past becomes more alive than ever. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive, and keep questioning what lies beneath the surface.